Never chase success the way everyone else does. The harder you run, the further it slips away. But what if I told you the greatest emperor of Rome, Marcus Aurelius, held the exact rules that still work today for building unstoppable success? Most people think ancient philosophy is dusty, boring, or too complicated. But the truth is, the Stoics were some of the most practical people to ever live. They weren't sitting around in robes all day. They were soldiers, leaders, advisors, and emperors. And Marcus Aurelius? He lived in chaos. Wars, betrayal, a crumbling empire. Yet he stayed calm, focused, and left behind lessons we can still use right now, in our careers, relationships, and daily grind. So today I'm breaking down 3 of Marcus Aurelius's most powerful Stoic rules. And I promise they're not what you think. If you take these to heart, you'll stop wasting energy on things that don't matter and start moving like someone who can't be stopped. Rule number 1. Control the controllables. Marcus Aurelius wrote in his journal, what we now call meditations, something brutally simple. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Think about how much time we spend stressing over things we can't control. The economy, what people think of us, if our boss notices our work, if that person texts us back. 90% of our mental energy gets wasted on what's outside our control. Marcus knew the Roman Empire was falling apart. He couldn't control barbarians crossing the border. He couldn't control betrayal in the Senate. But he focused on his actions, his decisions, his responses, his character. And that's the first rule. Don't waste your life chasing control over what isn't yours. Put all your energy into mastering what is. Rule number 2. Use obstacles as fuel. Marcus had a famous line that turned into a modern book title. The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. Sounds poetic, but let's break it down. He's saying, your obstacles aren't roadblocks, they're fuel. The thing that looks like it's stopping you, that's actually your path forward. Let's bring it modern. You lose your job? That's not the end. That's the push you needed to start the business you always talked about. Someone betrays you? Painful, yes. But now you know who you can trust, and you learn resilience. Fail a project? Good. You just got free data on what doesn't work. Data your competitors don't have. Here's the twist. Obstacles aren't fair. They don't care about your plan. But Stoicism flips the script. The obstacle isn't blocking your path. It is the path. And once you see life this way, failure loses its power. Rejection loses its sting. Every no turns into momentum. That's unstoppable. Rule number 3. Remember, you're going to die. This one sounds dark, but it's the most freeing. Marcus Aurelius constantly reminded himself of death, not in a morbid way, but in a wake-up call way. He wrote, you could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do, say, and think. Think about that. You and I both. We don't know if we've got decades or just days left. The average person lives like time is endless. They scroll, procrastinate, argue over nonsense, as if they've got forever. Marcus flipped that. He used death as motivation to live urgently, clearly, and with purpose. The Stoics called this memento mori. Remember that you must die. Now, imagine if you carried that reminder every day. Would you still waste hours on things that don't matter? Would you still hold grudges? Would you still wait years to chase what you want? No, you'd move. You'd cut the noise. You'd focus on what truly matters. Family, work that fulfills you, discipline, growth. This is the third rule. Remember, you're going to die, and let that truth push you to actually live. Now, here's where the challenge comes in. These rules are simple, almost too simple. Control the controllables. Turn obstacles into fuel. Remember you're mortal. Easy to say, but living them daily, that's the hard part. Our brains resist. We want comfort. We want excuses. We want to believe we've got time to waste. But Marcus knew better. And if an emperor of Rome could stay grounded in these truths while the world fell apart, what excuse do we have? The challenge is to live these rules when it's uncomfortable, when you lose money, when someone betrays you, when you feel lazy, tired, or scared. That's when the rules matter most. Let's explore deeper. Imagine you're in Marcus's shoes. The empire is on fire, literally and politically. Plagues are killing thousands. Enemies are pressing on borders. Your generals betray you. The Senate plots against you. Your own son, Commodus, is reckless and unfit to lead. In those moments, most people would break. But Marcus didn't write panicked letters. He wrote calm reflections in his journal. If it's endurable, then endure it. Stop complaining. That's Stoicism, not theory, practice. Here's the climax. Marcus shows us that success isn't about luck, money, or even talent. It's about resilience of the mind. Because the empire will fall, money will come and go, health will fade. But if you master your mind, you become untouchable. And that's why these 3 rules aren't just philosophy. They're survival skills. They're rules for being unstoppable in any century.